Greetings, YouTube. This, what I'm living in at the moment, would have been almost impossible for a person to do alone, even with access to all the best equipment possible. The street I live on wouldn't exist if it had been required to be made by one man. The power grid couldn't have been made by a person. Our telecommunication system couldn't have been made by one person. Everything that you own that's letting you do this, watch me at the moment, exists because hierarchical organizations are a force multiplier. Why do I bring this up? Because I see a lot of individualism on the internet of both the libertarian and the anarchist variety, and it drives me crazy because there's no such thing as an anarchist society or anarchist culture. There's no such thing as a libertarian culture or society. They're fantasies. Libertarians are religion. I'll even give a little more credit to the anarchists. But you couldn't have what we have if we were living under a libertarian or an anarchist system. Anarchists don't win wars. They don't build Hoover dams. They don't go to the moon. They don't build infrastructure. It's all about the individual. Now, libertarians will accept certain levels of hierarchical organization, but you could ask 1,000 libertarians to give it an answer what they would accept, and you'd get 2,000 answers. So, yeah, they're not going to do much either, other than want to take all of our money and give it to the rich people. They like that idea because they believe that someday they'll be one of the rich people, and they want everyone to give them their money. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me either. But hierarchical organizations are a part of us. Humans are a tribal species. We have evolved from creatures that formed in troops. We work best in units. And even though a lot of us are introverts, a lot of us don't have a lot to do with the outside world. Even before the pandemic, when I am filming this, I was not an overly social person. I would go lots of places alone, have very little interaction with the people around me, and just engage in commerce or in the shared experience of being at the same place at the same time. But I never forgot that everything I was experiencing exists because 2 plus 2 plus 2 is a lot more powerful than most people think it is. Because it isn't an arithmetic growth. 3 people can do so much more than 2. 5 can do so much more than 4. And if you have the right people helping to give orders and lay out plans and organize things, you get even more out of it. Now, you can go too far. Look at the state of late-stage capitalism in the world. All right, that's evil. But a certain level of hierarchical organization will give us things like a satellite network, GPS, 4G communication, moving to 5G now. It'll give us the internet. It'll give us all of our literature, all of our art. And you could say, well, those artists worked on their own, but they shared it with the world. And each of us takes something from that, and then we can then multiply what they created by doing something new. It's like money. If I have $1 in my account, I have $1 in my account. If I spend that dollar, it is a multiplier of action. You can end up with like $3 to $5 worth of economic activity because I spent that $1. And I understand this. So when I look at anarchists and libertarians, and whether in the form of a pandemic or just the ordinary everyday life, it makes no sense to me. They baffle me. How the hell do you think you would survive this alone. There are no experts in libertarians and anarchist societies because everyone would have to develop things on their own. And the possibility of someone becoming an expert in the thing that you need them to be an expert in when they did it all by their onesies approaches zero. But if they're part of an educational network, well, now you get a much better chance of finding the expert you need. And I've heard anarchists tell me, well, if a bridge needs to get built, the anarchists will come together, they'll build the bridge, and they'll move on. A bridge made by a bunch of amateurs is not something I want to be driving over. I want experts involved in that. And I want them to use materials that were also produced by experts. And all of these require hierarchical organizations to achieve. Just like a pulley or a lever multiplies force, organizations multiply human capacity and potential. That's why I'm a socialist. That's why I'm a believer in voting. Because we are better together. Even if individually we're not right much for interacting with each other, I still support the system that should benefit us all, and it doesn't. At least not in America. We are better together. Hierarchical organizations are a force multiplier, and if used for good, they make everything possible.